Hello, Americans and patriots and Christian brothers and sisters alike. How you doing? It's been a while since I've done a video. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on. You just can't keep up no more. This used to be a lot easier years ago, but that's okay because we're getting to the head of everything now. P Diddy is currently in the Brooklyn Detention Center under which is a federal prison. And the part where he is in is also the same part where Sam Bankman is, a famous cryptocurrency guy. And it has a reputation for being a very, very violent prison. And you would think those two guys should be in protective custody? They're not. They're what we call in a dormitory setting. Now, if you don't know what a dormitory setting, picture going to an office and seeing a whole bunch of cubicles. That's how they live. And they have beds in each of those little cubicles. Obviously, the cubicle's a little bit bigger. And it's an open floor plan. You're not protected by cell bars. So there's no way a guy like P. Diddy should be in an area like that in any jail. Unless he had the whole unit to himself. He should be in protective custody. But if he begins to talk, don't be surprised if he was murdered or suicided. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. And meanwhile, and as I've been saying, that FBI sting on him was an FBI cover-up for the people on the seventh floor, and all the higher-ups in Congress, CEOs, and any bigwig donors. Because just like Jeffrey Epstein, P. Diddy had them all. And I'm hearing that they got Justin Bieber on camera being a victim, Usher, Jennifer Lopez, among others. Now, Cat Williams, the comedian in Jaguar White, said, and Jaguar White also said that R. Kelly would be the first, P. Diddy would be the second, and they're predicting that Jay-Z will be the third, which would be a big one. And of course, P. Diddy, he's also, say he's tied to the murder of, I think, both Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, and Tupac Shakur. Meanwhile, in the borough next door, northwest in Manhattan, Mayor Adams has been indicted on several counts. Basically, of wire fraud, uh, dealing with foreign nationals. Now you may say, well, don't they all deal with them? Yeah. About almost 100% of the Democrat parties like that, and I would say at least 80% of the GOP's like this. But what's the difference between Mayor Adams and the other Democrats? Mayor Adams didn't play ball no longer. And as soon as that indictment came out, many people called him to resign. And next in line is the public advocate, Jermaine Williams. Now, if you don't know what a public advocate is, they're basically in charge of keeping track of all the city services and that they perform well, and that the citizens of New York City, or probably illegals too, are getting the services they should be getting. He would be next in line. And he would say, well, good, he's better than Adams. No, he's not. Williams would be a major step down, as much as I despise Mayor Adams. Sorry, he would be. And of course, behind him would be the city controller, Lander, Brett Lander. And of course, if that was the case, if he was removed by Governor Hochul, which is a bit of a lengthy process, Jermaine Williams would take over as the mayor. He would be in charge of having a special election, which I don't know why, because it's less than a year ago on his term. And they say Jermaine Williams is going to run for mayor next year anyway on the Democrat side, as well as Brad Lander and probably a whole bunch of city council people. But when you don't play ball or you go out of line, this is what they do to you. How many times did Mayor Adams complain about not getting money from the federal government for giving all these illegals? How many times did he demand that they leave the city? And he was raided once before by the FBI, and he kept going. And I don't know if Mayor Adams had a change of heart, his conscience got to him, or they told him one thing he became mayor and they flipped the switch on him and did something different. But to his credit, maybe he has. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He has a conscience now. He's like, I don't like what they're doing in my city. I mean, don't forget this guy was a police captain. Even though a lot of people say, I know who worked with him, say he was a political pencil pushing sergeant, lieutenant, and captain of the NYPD. But this is what we're dealing with right now. And as far as Hochul, we're leaving him. Well, Hochul's got her own troubles also. She was caught with a Chinese spy in her administration, which was a holdover from Andrew Cuomo. And by the way, Andrew Cuomo, the rumor is he wants to run for New York City mayor next year, if possible. Oh boy. It would be better a step up from Jermaine Williams, unfortunately. Ugh. But Hochul's got her own problems. She's also told the migrants not to come to New York and leave the city and leave the state. I think Mayor Adams said there's a $12 billion budget deficit, and they're going to cut services in all departments to compensate for this, and they're not getting money from the feds either. And I think if Hochul tried getting help from the feds, she's next in line. I think she's next in line anyway. She's up to her eyeballs in a whole bunch of crap anyway, left over from the Andrew Cuomo era. But as you see, this is what happens when you go online. People say, "Oh, the Democrats, they're always so united. They're always so united." There's a reason why. There's blackmailing all of them. And when you step out of line, they release the hounds and they all turn on you, including the media. Now, Adams says he doesn't plan to step down. Hey, why would he? I wouldn't right now. And as a person who lives here in New York State, which I don't like him, you don't want him to step down because right now, you feel he's going to try to do the right thing for the city, unlike Williams or Brad Lander. This is what we had to deal with here in New York State. And meanwhile, the man who's probably behind the federal indictment is Joe Biden. You don't think he's a little upset? That day he took that mega cap from that guy in the cafe and wore it. I thought he was just being a smartass. But he kept it on. Which still I didn't see a big deal of it. But when I saw him go up on Air Force One with that hat still in his hand, I was like, what is he trying to say here? Is he saying F you, Kamala, and the deep state for what you did to me? F you to Pelosi? Maybe, because right now, Biden is throwing Kamala Harris on the bus. She said he left her in charge to do the border, to do foreign policy, and to do domestic policy. So is this his way of saying, okay, Kamala, I'll play the game. I'll endorse you, but I'm going to throw you under the bus as well. And right now, as Kamala Harris's reigns and polling is beginning to tank faster, she still avoids the press. She still avoids interviews. And you wonder if there's going to be a change of battle soon. Will they get rid of Joe Biden and give her a consolation prize and then try to replace Kamala Harris? I don't think they can do it at this point with 39 days left in the election. But it will be interesting to see. Comments down below. What's your opinion? I'd like to know. Keep the country in prayer. Keep Donald Trump in prayer. The Vance family in prayer. They need protection because Donald Trump is more heavily bodyguarded than ever before. And we'll talk to you later.